In the middle of the 20th century, social psychologist Leon Festinger ran an experiment that became a classic. People sometimes call it $1 versus 20. Participants spent an hour doing the most mind-numbing task imaginable, moving objects around, repeating the same motions over and over. Then the researcher asked one simple thing: tell the next participant that it was actually interesting. Some people were paid $20 for that line. Others were paid $1. And here's the strange part: the $20 group stayed calm and honest. Yeah, it was boring. I did it for the money. But the $1 group started convincing themselves that there was something to it. Not because the task changed, but because the mind couldn't handle the contradiction and rewrote the meaning. And this is why it's dangerous, because this isn't about some psychology textbook experiment. It's about how we live. When we don't have a strong enough reason to admit the truth, that something feels wrong, that it doesn't fit, that this was a mistake, the mind doesn't change the situation, it changes the story. And you don't even notice the moment when "I don't like this" turns into "well, it's fine." That's where the quietest betrayal begins, not of someone else, but of yourself, in relationships, at work, in your habits, in your life. So why do you need to know this? Because this is how people stay for years in places that are slowly breaking them, in relationships, in jobs, in patterns, in a role that doesn't fit who they are. Today, I'll show you 3 things. 1, why your brain can't stand inner conflict. 2, how it tries to treat discomfort, sometimes in a very toxic way. And 3, how to regain your ability to hear the truth before it goes completely silent. And at the end, there's a short test that'll show you instantly: are you still in touch with yourself, or have you gone numb? Okay. Personal story. I once agreed to a marketing job that I didn't even want. And the crazy part is, I knew from day one that it didn't feel right. It was exhausting and unnecessary, but I said yes anyway. Basically, I agreed to a situation that didn't feel right for me. Not because I thought it was the right thing, but because it was awkward to say no. I felt like I had to be nice, and because I didn't want to create tension. Once I started the project, I remember thinking, this doesn't fit me. This goes against me. I don't like it. And then something strange happened. A few weeks later, I caught myself realizing I wasn't even angry anymore. More than that, I started justifying the parts I hated and began finding the potential upsides. It was like my mind took something that felt wrong and painted it in a cute neutral color. And I remember the exact moment it hit me. I never agreed to that inner shift. My psyche did it without asking me. There's a story that shows how this works when the stakes are huge. In 1986, the Challenger space shuttle disaster happened. There were warning signs, there were doubts, there were concerns, but the system, people, decisions kept moving according to plan. Because to admit we're not sure, we might be wrong, we need to stop, meant admitting too much. See, sometimes we ignore signals not because we're stupid, but because it's too painful to face reality. So we keep going, right on schedule, because stopping would hit our ego right where it hurts and shatter the version of ourselves we're trying to protect. This mechanism has a name: cognitive dissonance. It's when a war starts inside you. What you believe versus what you do. What you value versus what's really happening in your life. For example, you see yourself as honest, but you lied. You want to respect yourself, but you went back to the place that devalues you. You say boundaries matter, but you stay quiet when something hurts. And in that moment, a familiar feeling appears. Tension, anxiety, that inner sense that something's off. Here's the truth. The psyche can't live long in a state of me against myself, so it tries to remove the conflict, and it doesn't care about the cost. There are 3 classic ways to reduce dissonance. First, change your behavior. Do something different. Leave, say no, stop something, or start something. Second, change your belief. Phrases like, "it's not that important," "everyone does this," "it's basically fine." Those gotta go and get replaced with the opposite, like, "I thought this was important, something's telling me it's not fine." And third, stop justifying the action or the reality. Here are the top phrases people use to justify an unsuitable reality. "I'm tired. They pushed me. Now isn't the time. I'll deal with it later." And guess which ones people use most? Not the first one, not the "I'm tired" one. The first one requires action, but the second and third, those provide instant relief. And here's the problem. When you fix dissonance with justifications and explanations, things do get quieter inside. But the question is, what are you really paying for that quiet? What's the true price? You pay by slowly betraying your values. Not loudly, not dramatically, with tiny concessions to yourself. First, you say to yourself, I don't like it. This doesn't work for me. Then, well, it happens. And finally, well, it's okay. It's fine. Eventually, you don't even remember why it ever felt wrong. And this is the scariest part. Reality didn't change. Your story did. Now, I'm gonna ask a few questions. Don't answer out loud. Just notice what happens inside. Have you ever justified someone's behavior by telling yourself, no, they're not really like that? Have you ever defended someone in front of others while you felt uncomfortable inside? Have you ever told yourself, it's not that bad, when it actually was bad? Or caught yourself thinking, this used to bother me, but now I don't even care? Here's the key. In all these instances, you're not defending a person, you're defending your decision to stay. Because if you admit the truth, you'll have to choose. And sometimes, a choice feels scarier than pain. Do a quick check. Think of a person or a place where you spend a lot of time. Work, relationship, a group, a family member, and ask your body, do you feel tightness, heaviness in your chest, tension in your shoulders, a sense of I'm shrinking? If yes, that's a signal. The body often tells the truth before the mind invents a justification. But if you feel nothing, that doesn't always mean everything is fine. Sometimes it means you adapted so deeply that the system stopped screaming. And the most dangerous moment is when it doesn't hurt anymore. In extreme cases, this mechanism sounds like, it's my fault. They love me in their own way. That's just how they are, and so on. The mind can rename pain. It can call coldness discipline. It can switch the definition of control to care. It can call humiliation harmless jokes. And it happens not because you're weak, but because the psyche will do anything to make it survivable, to live inside the story that you chose to tolerate. Here's the good news. There is a way out, and it doesn't start with burn everything down. It starts with coming back to yourself. Step 1, name the truth. Not for anyone else, for you. One sentence. This hurts. This doesn't fit me. This feels wrong. Or this feels bad. Step 2, find the value you're betrayed. Genuinely ask yourself, what is it? Respect? Safety? Freedom? Honesty? Name it with one word. Be brutally honest. Step 3, take the smallest action toward that value. For example, if you were being disrespected, don't jump into leave forever, but start with a small step, a boundary, a conversation, distance, a pause, a new rule, support, a plan. The goal is simple, to return to the feeling of comfort, the feeling of I've got my own back and I'm not against myself. If you're still here with me, that means something. You're not numb yet. You can still feel the signal. There's only one question now. Are you going to listen to it, or are you going to talk yourself back into it's fine? Drop one sentence in the comments. What have you gotten used to in your relationships, at work, or inside your own head? Not for me, for you. Because naming the truth is the first step out of self-deception. Thanks for watching. If this helped even a bit, you know the drill. One quick tap for you, a big win for us, and a friendly nudge to the algorithm. Really appreciate you being here. See you in the next one.